All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Jam Football, doing a draft breakdown on Notre Dame edge Isaiah Foskey. There is some real deal ability. Like his speed, his ability to get off, the way he can move laterally, I think is real. And the things that he needs to get better at are things guys get better at. But he's put up real production. I mean, he's the all-time sack leader at Notre Dame. He passed Justin Tuck this season. Second in college football, at least going into the bowl games, and sacks with 12. But when you combine sacks, QB hits, and pressures, he was 77th. So almost all of his pass rush production turned into sacks, which sacks absolutely matter, but they're not always the best indicator of future success, especially at the next level. But I like Isaiah Foskey. So let's get into it. Make sure to like and subscribe. All right, first play. This is actually from 2021 versus USC. I want to show just his pass rush ability and when he does actually work moves, how well they work. So over to left tackle, and he just works this stutter step, and he ends up getting a strip sack. You see the get off? This is consistent. Watch the first step. False step. We're losing ground on that first step. That's something that's got to get fixed and just like beaten out of him. You see the get off? Left tackle's in good position, in good proportion. And he gives this little stutter. Bap, 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 freezes the tackle. Gets into that one arm, long arm bull. And now he doesn't have the greatest bull rush, but he's working the corner. And it leads to a strip sack. I think the move that he works the best is the cross chop. In fact, you can tell maybe this guy watches some Von Miller stuff because he likes to work the Von Miller moves. This cross chop ends up getting a sack on this right tackle from North Carolina, chasing the play down. How does he do this? Again, good get off. Just, again, that false step, that's going to bug me like crazy. But it's like he's got good get off with the false step. So if he could fix that, it gets even better. Like, tackle's got good proportion on him and just uses his hands against him. Watch that right hand. And then left hand and then get around the corner. Doesn't have the greatest bend in the world, but he has the ability to get around that corner. And then we're chasing Drake May down. Here again over the right tackle. Again, you see the speed. And we've got our offensive tackle's hips open because we have good get off. And again, with the false step, I'm going to try to not say false step on every play, but he does it on damn near every play. Now, the tackle's got to use his hands to overcompensate because he's beating him off the snap. Use that right hand. All right, we won. Now, get flat. Get flat. Get flat down the line. Force Drake May up into a sack into the defensive tackle. Here, against the right tackle again. Right tackle leans. Takes advantage of it. Use those hands against him. So some good stuff when he works it. Here versus Ohio State versus Paris Johnson. Now, Paris Johnson absolutely worked Isaiah Foskey in this game, but this was a good rep he had versus him, using ghost move, which is you put that hand out there, take it away. Like he likes to work this move, the long arm, one arm bull. Take it away. Now, I think it could be a little more smooth, but take it away. You're getting hands on the quarterback. Now, here's where I think he struggles. Once engaged on the block, he just has a hard time getting off of it. I mean, these are the type of players you're going to be playing in the NFL, not number 75 from UNC, Paris Johnson. It gets into his chest, but just not great power. And again, look, Paris Johnson's giving him hands to work with. Like there's moves that can be worked, and he just kind of gets stonewalled. And here he's going to go against the right tackle. And goes to the bull rush. Now, 79's a big dude, but you could tell he's kind of on his heels a little bit. Goes to the bull rush. I mean, just gets stopped. Now, again, 79, I forget his name, but he is a big, strong dude. But you get that momentum, working speed, the power. I feel like you got to do more than that. I think that's why, even though he has all the sacks, the pressure numbers aren't great because that's how you get consistent pressure at the end of the day. Is like you got to have that power element to you. Here versus UNC the right tackle. Like he worked all those great moves versus him, but break hands off of you. Work hands, counter, counter, counter. And that's the type of stuff that can be taught. But like he gets bullied on this play. I mean, this right tackle basically turns this into a run block at the end of the play. Again, just kind of the lack of power. He's got good get off, but when this tackle does a good job of getting out there and not giving Foskey space to work with, like closing that space out. And then once it's connected, it's just like, this is a really good rep for the left tackle. And Foskey ends up losing it. Now, I do think he's good working outside in, but it needs to be a little quicker. Because of his speed, look, this tackle's hips are open up, trying to get him around the corner. Because of his speed, I think he's going to be in positions to win this. Like, at this point, you should be trying to jack that shoulder up and get inside. And he ends up doing it eventually, but just a little late on it. And then the next one versus Paris Johnson over to left tackle. Like, good move, pulls the hand, and just tries to jack up that inside shoulder and ride him to the quarterback. Like, that's the way it should go. It should go quickly. Now, versus the run, here over the right tackle, there is some good reps like this. Getting into the chest of an O-lineman and disengaging. Like here, you get into his shoulder pads and just toss him. Him winning this rep, and he could like not have a bad rep and just stay out here on the edge and set the edge. That's the difference between a big gain. Big gain and a run stop. So those plays are there, but I think plays like this, setting the edge, are more common for him, and I think they'll be more common for him, especially early on in the NFL. Just kind of getting eaten up, like trying to disengage and just setting a bad edge. Like he just doesn't have that great power element. You know, tries to work back inside on this, and Paris Johnson just rides him. Now, here's something that I think is noticeable, and if you are the team that ends up drafting him, is maybe you get him in a three-point stance a little more often, because one, that helps with the fall step. It just helps him fire out lower, and he has some good reps out of these three-point stances. Like this is at the goal line. I mean, that's a great rep. I mean, we're firing off, we're landing hands with good leverage, and we're driving him back, closing down the gap, extend, disengage, meet the back in the hole. Like that's a great rep for Foskey. So I think that's something worth a note maybe early on that you can do with him. And I think that would help. I think that would help in the pass rush game too. Like I know he's not the biggest edge in the world, you know, but I think putting him in a three-point stance can help with some of the issues he has while you work on some other things. You know, here, and this is the next play. Back in the three-point stance. Fire off. I mean, get low, get leverage, wide base, drive your feet, meet the H-back, knock his ass back, and then make the tackle. Like those are great reps. So, again, Foskey's a player I like. There's, like, we talked about the strength stuff, disengaging, things that stop me from falling in love with him. I personally view him as like a high second-round pick because there is ability there to work with, and there's things that he can fix, but he's obviously not he's not like a top 15, top 20 pick type guy for me, but a really good player who I think will be useful for NFL teams if he gets with the right coaching. So make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we will see you on the next draft breakdown.